Hi, I am Nurul Hasna Binti Abu Hassan. Together with my other group members, Muhammad Ikhmal, Muhammad Nur, Amirul, and Nur Husna, are going to explain more about our conducted contrastive analysis on the chosen blocks with the theme of cultural food of Malaysia. Now, I'm going to further explain about what is an online discourse. Online discourse is the ways of talking in the internet world. Online discourse can be conducted via digital platforms and devices. The function of the online discourse is to ease the communication between people in different places. Nowadays, the internet is being widely used as a medium of communication and education. This is because it is faster and easier for people to communicate and exchange information. Therefore, contrastive analysis can be used to improve the online discourse in ensuring the help learners to comprehend the target language better.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Muhammad Nur Amirul bin Ismail and I'm going to explain the methodology, which is the blocks background. As you can see, Table 1 shows our data collection procedure. In this analysis, we use two different blocks that have two different languages. The first one is the Malay block. It is taken from the link that we have provided in the table below. It is written by Rahma Hashim, and the title of the block is Makanan Tradisional Rakyat Malaysia. It was written on 19th of October 2016. Next, the second block that we use is the English block. It is retrieved from the link that we have provided in the table below. The block is written by Melissa Peirce on 14th of November 2015 with the title Malay Cuisine, Blending Spice and Culture.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. Greetings to Madam Muslinda as well as my fellow audience who are currently viewing this presentation right now. My name is Muhammad Ikhmal bin Zolkiple, and for today I will be first explaining about the elements that have been taken a look in details upon conducting the constructive analysis of the two different blocks which were written in different languages. So the first element is the language structure, which is deduced as how the structure of a text is organized, as well as studying whether its part has a connection between each other. Writers are usually found to deliberately structuring the text to give a meaningful effect towards the readers, and it can include elements like syntax, semantics, and phonology. And as you can see in the quantification of data on the items analyzed, there are fewer elements of language structure that include items like syntax, semantics, and phonology found in the Malay block, which is 15, as compared to the English block, which is 28. And the next item that was being analyzed is the choice of vocabulary, which can be said as the types of words that are used as a tool to depict meanings. And the amount of words found related with the borrowing, compounding, and also adjective found in the both blocks are on par, which is 85. And for the third element, which is the special expression, which is regarded by the feelings that are being portrayed by someone in the text, there are 24 items of it found in the Malay block, while 43 items of special expressions are found used in the English block. And last but not least, is the use of visuals, which are the graphics that are used for effect of illustration that are pleasing to the sight. Where in the Malay block, it contains 7 of visuals, while the English one contains of 72 of visuals. Now, I will be explaining about the first element, which is the language structure. For the first item in language structure, we have syntax, the arrangement of words and phrases to create well-formed sentences. The first example of syntax items found in the both blocks is the use of passive voice, which happens when a person or object experiences an action and not performing the action. For the Malay block, the example of the passive voice is mi laksa diperbuat dengan berbagai bumbu, while the English one is Malay cuisine is known by many people. It can be said that both of these examples share the same similarities in which the objects are the one that experience the action, which explain that the use of passive voice in this block function to demote the active subject to an optional oblique and to syntactically subject position. It also contributes to construct relative clauses and avoid sentence structure to become awkward, which will then will pose challenges to the outer learners to understand the context of the whole sentence due to the poor arrangement of it. The next one is sentence structure, which has the pattern of subject, verb, object. The example in the Malay block is lemang diperbuat daripada beras pulut, and the English one is rice cooked in pulp yeast until sticky. The use of this sentence structure is frequently used in both blocks as it is the most common basic sentence taught in every language, as it is easily constructed even in the complex sentences. In online discourse, the use of the sentence structure can assist the beginner learners of the language to interpret the text better. The second element in the language structure is semantics, the branch of linguistics that focuses more on meanings. The first example of semantics contained in both blocks is code mixing, which is the combination of two or more languages in one single speech. The example of code mixing in the Malay block is terdapat juga popia yang dikenali sebagai spring rolls. As for the English block, nasi goreng is translated into fried rice. Both bloggers are found to be using the code mixing when writing one of the sentences in each of the blocks in which they provide a translation towards the nouns involved. And it serves to emphasize the meaning of the subjects onto the new outer learners to avoid misconfusion and give clearer meaning on what the items being discussed are. It helps the readers to visualize the item based on the translation in the respected language, hence making them understand the context of the sentence better. The next one is contextual clues. Each of the blocks contain contextual clues that function to allow the readers to have a glimpse on what the topic being discussed is going to be, as well as providing hints that could help the readers to understand the meanings of new or unfamiliar words better. The Malay block has the repetitive use of the word makanan, which is a direct translation of food in the Malay language. The word functions as contextual clues to give an imaginary outline of what the whole blocks are going to be discussed in details to the readers. And the name of the spices in the English block, like coriander and lemongrass, could confuse the new Malaysian ESL learners in understanding the meanings, and they are not familiar with the spices named in English. Therefore, the phrase like rich in spices in the beginning of sentences function as a contextual clue that suggests the words like coriander and lemongrass are the types of spices to those who are not advanced yet in English language.
Next is the choice of vocabulary. Vocabulary choices shows the writer's flows of idea clearly. It can also influence the reader's emotion when they read the text and also attract the reader's attention when they come across certain words in the text. In this contrastive analysis, I have found two elements of vocabulary choices, which are borrowing and adjectives. Borrowing is the process of adapting words from other languages to be used in the target language. This is because there are no words in the target language that can use to describe the certain things. And usually, borrowed words came from a few countries around the world. As you can see from the table, the Malay block used two loan words, which are Aidilfitri and Laksa. The word Aidilfitri came from the Arabic language, which means the festival celebrated by the Muslims in Malaysia. It gives a clear expectation for the readers to learn that Malaysia consists of multiple religions and only some food are available during the religious celebrations. Next, the word laksa is borrowed from Sanskrit. It refers to the noodle soup which has either a curry or a fish base. There are no other words used to describe laksa, as it shows the origin of the food, which is from the Peranakan culture. Meanwhile, the English block used two loan words from the Malay language, which are durian and nasi lemak. Durian and nasi lemak symbolize Malaysia, as they can easily be found in the country, and majority of the Malaysian population will eat durian and nasi lemak. Thus, it is perfect to use these words as they are significant among Malaysian, and both authors have chosen the suitable words to attract the reader's attention to learn more about Malaysia through food. The second element of vocabulary choices is the adjectives. Adjectives is used to describe a noun or a pronoun. In the Malay block, the author used adjectives to describe the taste of the food. In the Malay language, the usage of the word young or very in English is one of the significant ways to describe an object. As you can see from the table, the phrase yang sungguh enak means very delicious and yang manis is very sweet. When the readers come across these adjectives, they can imagine the taste of the food and will definitely want to try them. On the contrary, the English block used the adjectives to define the texture of the Malaysian food. From the adjectives used, the readers can visualize the exact texture of the food. For example, The phrase a pale yellow flesh refers to the Malaysian well-known fruit durian. It explains the color of the durian's flesh, which is yellow. Another example is the phrase a smooth frothy texture that indicates the texture of the Malaysian favorite tea, teh tarik. Therefore, the usage of the adjectives in the blocks can attract the readers to try out the Malaysian food even though they are from other countries, as they have been fascinated by the description provided by the authors of the blogs.
Next, I am going to elaborate on our findings regarding our third element, which is special expressions. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, expressions can be defined as the behavior made by a person when he or she tries to convey feelings, while for special expressions, they are expressions that represent something specifically. Some examples of special expressions are idioms, slang, borrowed expressions, nation or culture specific expressions, and space, time, and quantity. Based on our analysis, we have found three types of special expressions in the blocks, which are borrowed expression, nation or culture specific expressions, and space, time, and quantity. However, I am going to elaborate only two of them, which are nation or culture specific expressions and space, time, and quantity. The first one is nation or culture specific expressions. It is a various forms of words that derive or represent certain cultures. These words are fixed, which means that they cannot be changed. In the table below, there are two examples taken from Malay and English blocks. The first example of nation or culture specific expressions in Malay block is the sentence nama laksa diambil dari bahasa Sanskrit in bracket India kuno iaitu laksha. The examples shows that the origins of the word laksa and the origin of the food itself. Next, untuk menyambut perayaan hari raya sama ada Aidilfitri atau Aidil Adha. The word Aidilfitri and Aidil Adha represents two celebrations that are being celebrated by the Muslims all over the world. For the English block, the examples are satay and heritage is the consumption of teh tarik. Satay and teh tarik are the words that represent the Malay cuisine. Both of the writers use this expression because it helps the reader who are not familiar with the Malay culture or other culture to learn more about it and attract their interest. The second expression that I am going to talk about is the space, time, and quantity. The space, time, and quantity expressions are being used to describe the geographical factors of the culture, the year or time something usually happen or already happened, and the measurement of certain things in the culture. As we can see in the table below, the words that are being bolded in the first example of the Malay block, which are sepanjang tahun and hari perayaan seperti Hari Raya Aidilfitri, indicate the specific time of the year where lemang will be sold widely. The next example of the Malay block, which is berukuran lebih kurang 10 cm dalam diameter dan 4 hingga 5 cm tebal, shows the quantity, which is the specific measurements of the cake or kuih. While for the English block, the first example, originally from Indonesia, specifically the Minangkabau ethnic group, is stating the space or the country of the food origin. The second example simply explains the time that shows the records, which is in the 15th century. The usage of space, time, and quantity expressions assist both writers, Malay and English blocks, in their writing, which help the reader and L2 learners to understand the context of the articles and imagine the things that are being portrayed by the writers.
Hello, greetings to Madam Muslinda and my fellow viewers. My name is Nur Husna Binti Mohamad Fauzi, and now I will be explaining about my findings on the use of visuals. Visuals are vital for decorations and used for aesthetic purposes in certain content in order to make it more interesting. From the two blogs that were analyzed, both authors have included images in order to make their readers understand the content written. This is a very good approach that was used by the authors in order to grab their readers' attention into reading their blog. Now I'm going to elaborate more about the functions of visuals as well as the analysis that I have made on the blogs. The first use of eye-catching visuals in blog content is as attention grabber to build audience. Visual contents are magnets for audiences into reading a content. Therefore, with the help of eye-catching images or videos, it can help to build audience by attracting the readers into reading the blog with the help of eye-catching visuals that are put inside the content. This is because research has showed that people are most likely to respond better to visual information rather than lengthy text. Hence, good quality images need to be chosen in order to attract viewers into reading the content from the start to the bottom without leaving them the feeling of boredom into reading the content. From the two blogs that were analyzed, the English blog, which is Malay Cuisine, Blending Spice and Culture, which is written by Melissa Pierce, as per figure 1, it is the photo that is placed at the top of the blog. The choices of images that were put inside the English blog are poor as it is blurry and pixelated, which might create a bad impression for the readers. Furthermore, such low-resolution image choices may splinter a reader focus in reading the blog. The first image that is put inside the content must be of high quality and vibrant in order to attract viewers, or otherwise, it will tell the readers that the author is reckless in choosing good pictures for their content. Looking into the second blog, which is Hidangan Traditional Rakyat Malaysia, written by Rahma Hashim, the photos chosen throughout the blogs are quite vibrant and of high quality, which is enough to feast the reader's eyes into reading the rest of the blog. With high quality picture and captivating aspects, it is enough to attract viewers into reading a blog and create a good attention grabber. The visuals that are chosen also fulfills the actual function of the use of the visual content, which is to attract people using eye-catching images. Now, the second function of visual content is to make the process of memorization easier and faster. The human brain is programmed to remember information effectively through images. Visuals are a powerful mechanism that can help humans memorize certain things faster. This is because visuals can transmit messages faster than audio, as well as it has the ability to trigger emotions of the readers. As both blogs that were analyzed are food-themed blogs, it is important for the author to use images that can trigger those emotions, such as mouth-watering and vibrant photos that can make the reader salivate. From the English blog, the author has included photos of the food that are mentioned, such as laksa, kolomi, and more. However, the author has used several photos that are quite confusing and contradictory from the message that the author is trying to convey. This can be seen in figure 3. It is a photo of satay and nasi himpit, but from the description that was written by the author, Melissa has mentioned nasi lemak first, which can be confusing to the readers as there was no description of the food at the bottom of each photo that are put inside the blog. For international readers, this would be hard for them as they do not know how the food looks like. Hence, they will create their own assumption of how nasi lemak would look like, which can be very different from how nasi lemak is explained by Melissa. Looking at the Malay blog, however, the author has included the name of the food at the top of every photo that is put alongside with its description at the bottom of the photo. This can help the readers to memorize the types of food that are mentioned easily, as it has been clearly defined and illustrated. In short, both blogs showcase plenty of information regarding the Malaysian cuisine for both local and international readers. It is important to note that the visuals that are chosen for our blog content can play a big role in order to get the readers to read their blogs. This is because a blog is not an educational reading material. Hence, the use of vibrant images in the blog is more important than a cluster of written text. Furthermore, a great choice of visual must be taken into account so that it can engage readers' senses, especially for a food blog, as vibrant photos can feast the eyes of the readers. Lastly, if the functions of visual content are fulfilled and used by the authors, it can be very beneficial for the readers and viewers, which can increase the engagement of the content as it is more outstanding than any other blog post. In conclusion, the main goal of the project has been achieved through contrastive analysis between the two chosen blogs. The items that were analyzed during the analysis are language structures, choices of vocabulary, special expressions, and the use of visuals. All the findings regarding the items have been recorded into our analysis and simplified into a form of bar chart where it showcases the amount of each element found in both blogs. Based on the chart, a quick comparison could be drawn. It can be suggested that the language used in the Malay blog has a higher tendency of containing different language structures and types of vocabularies. It is seen that the Malay blog contains more sentences that have a passive form and words that are being borrowed and compounded as compared to the English blog. As for the special expression, the Malay blog showed a higher use of special expression in explaining each of the items mentioned than to be compared to the English blog. This is due to the fact the topic discussed is close to the heart of the author, as she is Malaysian. It has encouraged her to use more special expression to describe the food as she has tasted them regularly, thus making the author knows which kinds of expressions are appropriate and suitable to be used to help the deliverance of the meanings. For the visuals, it can be concluded that the Malay blog has better visual presentations as higher resolution photos are included and proportional to the information that is conveyed by the author, to be compared to the English blog, which contains low quality images as well as contradictory pictures to the information given.
After conducting the constructive analysis on the two chosen blogs that were written in different language from the authors that come from different cultural backgrounds, it can be suggested that when writing about one's culture, the people who are originated from the host culture tend to have more knowledge upon the topic, hence making the writings to become more precise and interesting towards the readers. Next, we have also found that the use of constructive analysis helps in identifying the differences as well as the similarities of the languages used in the both blogs, as well as suggesting whether it could create challenges to the readers who are in a beginner level of acquiring the language. And lastly, we believe that the use of language structures, special expressions, and visuals play an important role to assist the readers to understand the context better. I think that's all from us. Thank you. Bye.